Hello everyone, this is Lala, and today I am doing a video where I talk to ChatGPT about the Era 1 woman, like I did with the Era 1 men. So this really isn't going to be based off of my opinion, but what ChatGPT thinks. So of course, as you will see throughout the conversation, I had to correct them a lot when it came to the data. But as I give them corrections, they come up with an accurate list according to their terms. So you see that I wrote here, hello, so I have a list of women who did at least 3 seasons of the Challenge franchise, which includes the flagship show, All Stars, and World Championship, but not Champs vs. Stars. These women are from Era 1, seasons 1 to 10. How would you rank these women based on performance only? This includes Rachel, Jody, Veronica, Coral, Susie, Anissa, Ruthie, Robin, Tanya, Tina, Kendall, Ronnie, Holly, Kara Z, Kina, Emily B, Katie, Julie, Iris, Trishelle, Ayana, Gisela, Beth, Montana, and Cynthia are the names in question to be ranked/analyzed. So it responds to me, great, you've got a very solid list of Era 1 women from the challenge who appeared in at least 3 seasons. I'll rank them strictly based on performance, using a combination of these metrics. Wins with weight given to size and difficulty of win, final appearances, including near finals in small formats, elimination record, daily challenge dominance, consistency and longevity, competitiveness across formats, flagship, all-stars, and world championship. This will not factor in entertainment value or cultural impact, pure competitive legacy. Here's a tiered and ranked list based on performance. So top tier, elite performers, multiple titles or dominance. 1 is Rachel Robinson. 2 wins, the Gauntlet and the Duel 2. As we all know, that's not accurate anymore, and she has 3 finals. Her elimination record, excellent, 5-1. We know that's not accurate. Note, dominant physical force, stellar in dailies, never truly declined. Strong showing across early flagship seasons and All-Stars. The All-Stars part isn't true at all, which we know. Number 2 is Jodie Weatherton, with 2 wins from the Gauntlet 2 and the Duel. That is accurate, with 3 finals. I don't think that's true, actually. We'll see. Her elimination record is a strong 6-2. That I know is true because she does have a good elimination record. Notes, clean win on the Duel, dominant on Gauntlet 2, and a threat in All-Stars. Won daily MVP multiple times. One of the most well-rounded competitors of her era. At number 3 is Susie Meister, with 2 wins, the Gauntlet 2 and the Ruins, with 3 finals. Her elimination record is very strong in 5-1. Notes, known for strategic play and strong partnerships, performed at a high level in team formats and individual setups. So the next tier is high tier, which has strong resume, great performers. At 4th is Roni Martin, who has 2 wins in Battle of the Sexes and the Gauntlet. We know she wasn't on Battle of the Sexes. And her finals record is 2-2. Her elimination record is no loss, never eliminated. We know that's not true. Notes, quiet killer with an undefeated finals record. Underrated due to limited seasons, but maximized every appearance. At 5th is Coral Smith, with 0 wins, but multiple finals. The finals is true, the win isn't. And it has her for Battle of the Seasons, Battle of the Sexes, and the Gauntlet. We know they're missing the Inferno. Elimination record, nearly perfect, rarely eliminated, that's true. Notes, never won, not true, but always a top tier threat. Carry teams had strong political and daily challenge control. Left due to injury or close call eliminations more than poor performance. At 6th is Veronica Portillo, with 3 wins from the Challenge 2000, Battle of the Sexes, and the Inferno, with 4 finals. She did not win Battle of the Sexes, she won the Gauntlet. Elimination record, decent, mixed over time. Note, strong in her prime, but wins were in team formats and political heavy seasons. More consistent early on, later appearances lowered her competitive reputation. Now we're moving on to the 3rd tier. Mid-tier, solid competitors with flaws or inconsistency. At 7th is Keena Dean, who had 1 win on Battle of the Sexes 2. We know that's not accurate. With 2 finals, we know that's not accurate. Notes, strong team leader and very capable in dailies. Short career, but effective. At 8th is Emily Bailey, with 0 wins and 2 finals appearances, Battle of the Sexes and Battle of the Sexes 2. We know that's not correct. Notes, strong presence in early team seasons, physical and smart but lacked the win. At 9th is Ruthie Alcade, who has 0 wins and made it to 3 finals, Battle of the Sexes 1, Battle of the Sexes 2, and All-Stars 2. We know that's not correct. And her elimination record is mixed. Notes, one of the strongest physical competitors, lacked political savvy and struggled in late game execution. That I do agree with. At 10th is Tina Barta with 0 wins, 2 finals in the Inferno 2 and Fresh Meat. Her elimination record is mixed. Note: physical player made multiple deep runs but had trouble closing and lost critical eliminations. At 11th is Robin Hibbard with 0 wins and 2 finals in Battle of the Sexes 2 and the Gauntlet 3. We know that's not accurate. Note: solid team player with deep runs but lacked a killer instinct and often carried by stronger players. At 12th is Katie Dole with 1 win from the Inferno and 2 finals. Elimination record: poor but sneaky endurance, scrappy and somehow always found a way, surprisingly clutch at times but not a dominant player. Low, middle tier, inconsistent or limited success. At 13th is Evis Delgadillo, I don't know if that's her actual last name, with 1 win on the Gauntlet 2 with 1 final. Note: 1 good season and never replicated that again. Quiet competitor overall. I think this is accurate, to be honest. 14th, Kendall Shepard. Wins 1 from the Inferno. Did win early, but All-Star's performances were shaky, and she often lacked killer instinct in high-pressure moments. I think that's true. At 15th is Julie Stoffer with 1 win, I think that's incorrect, and 2 finals. Note: highly competitive in her peak, which we saw in the Inferno and the Inferno 2, but her erratic behavior and lack of social/political game often backfired. I think that's accurate. At 16th is Ayana Mackins with 0 wins, 1 final appearance in All-Stars 2, and her elimination record is mixed. Notes: wildcard player, great physical competitor but unpredictable and often self-destructive. Pretty true. At 17th is Trishelle Canatella with 0 wins and 1 final. Notes: inconsistent and often struggled in physical challenges, though she had political savvy. Bottom tier, limited competitive success. At 18th is Anissa Ferreira with 0 wins, 3 flagships. 1 in flagship, 2 in spin-offs. We know that's not true. She has 2 flagship finals. Her elimination record is poor as she has 13 losses. Note: longest tenured female without a win, valuable socially but repeatedly failed in eliminations and couldn't win in any format. Damn. Okay. At 19th is Gisela Delgado with 0 wins and 0 finals. We know that the finals part isn't true. Notes: solid daily player in All-Stars but didn't achieve much in early flagship or later. That's pretty true. At 20th is Tanya Cooley, who has 1 win from the Inferno 3. Notes: often carried by stronger players, erratic, and rarely a centerpiece of performance-based success. At 21st is Beth Stolarczyk with 0 wins and 0 finals. Notes: longest cast member but no strong finishes or elimination wins. I think that's incorrect, at least with the elimination wins. At 22nd is Cynthia Roberts with 1 win from Battle of the Sexes. She didn't win. She was on that Battle of the Sexes and she didn't win that season. Notes: quiet on her win, didn't impact other seasons much. At 23rd is Montana McGlynn with 0 wins and 0 finals. Appeared early, didn't make waves competitively. At 24th is Cara Zavaleta with 0 wins and 0 finals. Short-lived competitor, often early exits. We know that's not true. So pretty much it says the top 5 is Rachel, Jodie, Cece, Roni, and Cole. Okay, as you see here, I had a lot of corrections, so let me read it. This one's long. Rachel won Battle of the Eras and has been in 4 finals. She has a 4-3 elimination record. Jodie has only been in 2 finals and her elimination record is 2-4. Susie has a 4-0 elimination record. Roni won Road Rules vs. Real World and lost 1 elimination. Cora has been to 4 finals and 1 Battle of the Seasons. Her elimination record is 2-0. Veronica won Challenge 2000, The Gauntlet, and The Inferno with a 2-4 elimination record. She has been to 5 finals. Kina won The Gauntlet 2 and has only been to 1 final with a 2-1 elimination record. Emily didn't make it to the final on either Battle of the Sexes, but Extreme Challenge and Battle of the Seasons. Ruthie's only final appearances are Battle of the Sexes and All-Stars 1, with a 1-2 elimination record. Tina has a 5-4 elimination record. Robin has 3 finals appearances in The Gauntlet 2, The Gauntlet 3, and The Island, with a 1-6 elimination record. Katie has a 4-9 elimination record. Julie won Extreme Challenge. Anissa has 4 finals appearances in The Gauntlet 2, The Duel 2, Ride or Dies, and All-Stars 1. She has a 15-15 elimination record. Gisela made it to the finals on All-Stars 1. Tanya made it to 2 finals in the Inferno 2 and the Inferno 3 and has a 3-3 elimination record. Beth made it to the final on Road Rules vs. Real World and has a 3-5 elimination record. Cynthia won Road Rules All-Stars. Montana made it to the finals on Road Rules vs. Real World. Cara won the Gauntlet 1 and has 2 final appearances with a 2-1 elimination record. ChatGPT says, thanks, this updated data sharpens the competitive picture a lot. Based strictly on performance, considering wins, finals elimination record and competition quality, here's a revised, more accurate ranking of the top Era 1 women 3+ seasons only in the challenge, focusing solely on flagship, All-Stars, and World Championship performances, excluding Champs vs. Stars. So here's the update. Top tier elite performers. At number 1 is Rachel Robinson. Strengths: multiple wins across individual and team seasons, strong daily performance, longevity, success in both flagship and All-Stars. The All-Stars part isn't true. Versatile and durable. At second is Susie Meister. Her strengths is clean elimination record, dominant socially, part of 2 of the most dominant team wins ever. Less physically imposing than Rachel, but more efficient. At third is Coral Smith. Strengths: carried her teams deep, avoided eliminations, though through strong daily and political game. Knocked for no solo win, but super consistent. At fourth is Jodie Weatherton. Strengths: dominant on her wins, especially the duel and crush daily challenges. Lower finals count and losing elimination record hurts slightly. High tier: strong legacy, near elite. At fifth is Veronica Portillo. Strengths: most finals and wins amongst Era 1 women. Longevity is excellent. Wins came in large team or political formats. Less individual dominance. At sixth is Roni Martin. Strengths: efficient, won nearly every time she showed up. Lack of elimination shows either dominance or protection, but sample size is small. At seventh is Julie Stoffer. Strengths: one of the better all-around early competitors. Chaotic but athletic, strong politically and physically in early seasons. At eighth is Keena Dean. Strength: led a team to a dominant win. Strong but short career. Final win is earned. At ninth is Emily Bailey. Notes: good competitor who was close multiple times. Lacked a win but consistent and respected in early team formats. Mid-tier: capable but inconsistent. At 10th is Ruthie Alkaid. Strengths: physically gifted but lacked game sense. Had deep runs but often imploded late or lost key matches. At 11th is Tina Barta. Strengths: battle-tested and competitive but inconsistent. Could beat top names or self-sabotage. At 12th is Cara Zavaleta. Strengths: quietly effective, not flashy but got results when needed. Gauntlet win was solid. At 13th is Katie Doll. Strengths: scrappy and underestimated. Many poor showings but pulled up clutch wins with weaker seasons. At 14th is Robin Hibbard. Strengths: often made it far but couldn't win eliminations. Decent politically, bad under pressure. Definitely true. At 15th is Tanya Cooley. Strengths: performed better in later seasons. Often volatile but finally putting it together for a win. At 16th is Ayana Mackins. Strengths: physical threat, unpredictable, sometimes elite, sometimes implosive. Very accurate. Lower tier: legacy more than performance. At 17th is Anissa Ferreira. Strengths: durable and battle-tested. That's a nice way of putting it. Many eliminations won, but rarely a true contender to win. Final performances are weak. That is so accurate, though. At 18th is Kendall Shepard. Strengths: solid win, but very underwhelming in All-Stars. At 19th is Gisela Delgado. Strengths: strong All-Stars return, but little contribution in flagship years. At 20th is Beth Stolar-Zisk. Strengths: longtime cast member, rarely competitive threat. Very true. At 21st is Cynthia Roberts. Strengths: earned an early win, but small resume and little long-term impact. At 22nd is Montana McGlynn. Strengths: one final, minimum impact elsewhere. I think it missed a few people, but whatever. So this is their top 5. So Rachel, CC, Coral, Jodie solidified. Veronica's at 5th, slightly behind due to less individual dominance. I said you missed a few people: Holly Shand, Ibis Nieves, and Trishelle Canatella. You're absolutely right. Let's properly incorporate Holly Shand, Ibis Nieves, and Trishelle Canatella into the performance-based Era 1 women rankings. Here's a breakdown of their challenge resumes, then I'll place them into the full revised ranking list. So you see, that's not correct. She won the Inferno. She did win elimination. So strengths: clean win, solid daily performance, but very small sample size. 1 season, 1 win. Never tested in eliminations. Ibis Nieves, 1 win in the Gauntlet 2, 1 final that same season, eliminations. Limited exposure. Strengths: contributed to team win, politically and smart socially. Similar to Keena in era and format, but less dominant. Trishelle Canatella won finals appearances in rounds 2. Wrong season, we know it's battle of the season 2012. Elimination, spotty performance, often early exits. Strengths, good political game at times, but not much competitive success. Rivals 2 was her standout season. We know that's incorrect. So pretty much, it has Ebis and Holly at 17th and 80. Team win, consistent but limited resume. Perfect record for but one season sample. We know it's incorrect, for at least for Holly. And Trishelle's at 22. Made one final, otherwise poor track record. Relatively true. I had to correct it. Holly won Count 2000 and the Inferno, 1-0 elimination record. EB's has a 0-1 elimination record. The season Trishelle made it to the final on was battle of the season 2012. She has a 2-3 elimination record. Perfect. Thanks for the corrections and details. With that clarified, let's properly reevaluate and re-rank the Era 1 women based on updated performance data, factoring in wins, finals appearances, elimination records, level of difficulty, and contributions to wins, so not just being carried. So updated profiles, you see the data that's updated with the three of them. I'm just going to scroll down to see where they rank. So Holly Shand is at 6th. Yeah, pretty much Holly moved up a lot. So I'm going to read her strengths. Quietly one of the most efficient players of her era. 2 wins in 2 finals. Undefeated in eliminations. Underrated due to low drama and early era format. Ibis Nieves. Strengths. A winning contributor, but never individually dominant. Minimal elimination experience hurts placement. And then we have Trishelle Canatella. Made it deep once, but struggled in pressure situations. Often exited early and didn't thrive in more competitive formats. That's pretty true. So we're going to scroll down. Okay. Just so you have an exact number for all the elimination records, Julie's elimination record is 0-2. Ayana's elimination record is 2-1. Kendall's is 3-2. Gisella's is 1-1. Cynthia's is 0-1. Montana's is 0-2. So thanks. Those stats help finalize the data set with precision. Here's an updated summary of the elimination records for all the competitors based on your notes. And then you see all the updated eliminations. And no eliminations in early format. So she literally has none because there was none when she played. Let me know if you'd like this integrated into a sortable chart or further refined into a visual tier list. Incorporate the data into a tier structure that you have done previously for this discussion. So, scroll down. Based on the most accurate and complete data so far, here is the fully updated base. Alright, so pretty much they're going to do a fully updated performance-based tier ranking of the Era 1 woman based on wins, finals appearances, elimination records, era strength, and contribution, which is good because of the format of a lot of the Era 1 seasons, and heck, even some of the Era 2 seasons, and All-Stars and World Championship results when applicable. So, Rachel, high impact in Flagship and All-Stars. We know All-Stars isn't true. Physically dominant and politically strong. Susie Meister, undefeated in eliminations and highly efficient in finals. Coral, carried teams to finals in early formats, never lost an elimination. Jody, one of the most dominant physical women ever on individual seasons. Slight drop due to elimination record. Veronica, great early record but often shielded from eliminations. Struggled in modern formats, very accurate. Holly Shand, quietly excellent performer, undefeated in finals and eliminations. Roni Martin, strong politically and socially, minimal elimination experience. Julie Stoffer, extremely competitive but failed in modern eliminations. Keena Dean, short career but dominant in her peak season. Emily Bailey, carried strong performances in early format but not tested in eliminations. Ruthie Alcade, athletic and likable but uneven track record. Tina Barta, competitive and entertaining, elimination tested with a positive record. Kara Zavaleta, quietly strong with solid elimination performance. Katie Doa, extremely tested in eliminations, volatile but resilient. Robin Hibbard, reached several finals but poor elimination record. Tanya Cooley had peak moments but inconsistent overall. Anissa Ferreira, Iron Woman of eliminations but has never won but unmatched longevity. Ayana Mackins, fierce in All-Stars but erratic in early appearances. Kendall Shepard, early win but struggled in returns, competitive but not dominant. Ibis Nieves, team win helps but little individual proof of strength. Giselle Delgado, surprise All-Stars finalist but no standout resume. Trishelle Canatella, one late career deep run, mostly early exits otherwise. Beth Stolorzisk, veteran presence with few competitive achievements. That's a drag. Cynthia Roberts, one win in a very late format, almost no elimination resume. Montana McGlynn, at last, minimal performance impact, forgotten competitor competitively. So I had to add some stuff. I said, yeah, because it grouped All-Stars 4 and Battle of the Eras as one season for Rachel. I said, All-Stars 4 and Battle of the Eras are two different seasons. You titled them the same for Rachel Robinson. Anyways, would you like to have the data for another category called near misses for people who just missed the finals on certain seasons but were close to getting there? As you all know, in my personal rankings, I always have this as a factor, and I added it as a factor in my last video with ChatGPT. Here's what it has to say. Thank you for catching that, and you're absolutely right. All-Stars 4 and Battle of the Eras are separate seasons, and I'll make sure to correct Rachel's win attribution. All-Stars 4 is Rachel's individual win. No, it's not. She did not win Battle of the Eras. That's incorrect. I had to correct that data. You'll see it. Now, regarding your questions, yes, I'd absolutely like to have the near misses data. That's a very valuable layer of performance context, especially in eras or seasons where strong competitors were eliminated right before the final due to format twists, partner losses, or narrow elimination losses. Please feel free to share, and I'll log it and incorporate those details carefully into the rankings. I mentioned, Rachel was eliminated early in All-Stars 4. She won Battle of the Eras. Here's the data for the near misses category. And I said all the seasons. I'm not going to list all of them because I just don't have the time to. Perfect. Thank you for the correction on Rachel. Check. 1 Battle of the Eras. X eliminated early on All-Stars 4. And for the detailed near misses category, this adds meaningful nuance to performance tiers, especially for those with strong showings that just missed finals. Near misses, finalists in all but name. These are notable close calls where competitors were eliminated right before the final or were in positions to make it but were derailed late due to format structure, partner eliminations, or tight eliminations. So as you see, Jody for All-Stars 2, Veronica has a few from All-Stars. As we all know, Anissa has a bunch of near misses, 6-time near finalist, unmatched. Ruthie, Battle of the Sexes 2. Robin, Battle of the Exes, her final one. Tina, Battle of the Sexes 2. Kendall in All-Stars 1. Ronnie in All-Stars 3. Holly in Battle of the Seasons. Katie has a few from All-Stars and the Gauntlet 3. Julie in the Inferno 2. Giselle from Battle of the Seasons, though with the way that season's formatted, she was still booted early, but all the eliminations were done in the first half, and she's the second last gone, so that's kind of iffy. Kind of the same thing as Adam. Beth Gauntlet 2. The near miss tier is incredibly valuable for contextualizing why some competitors with fewer official finals still had high-level performance, how unlucky formats, partner eliminations, or unique season structures affected certain players' legacies. Would you like to add this as a supplemental tier below the main performance list? Or simply integrate as performance? I said yes. I probably shouldn't have said no, but I should have said it, but whatever. Here's what it looks like. These competitors didn't rack up official final appearances, but their near misses reflect strong performances, consistency, and bad luck rather than lack of ability. Anissa Ferreira. Summary, possibly the most snubbed finalist in challenge history. 6 near misses in addition to her 4 finals reflects remarkable consistency. Veronica Portillo. Despite declining in modern seasons, Veronica made deep runs in multiple spin-offs and just missed finals twice. Jodie Witherton. One of the favorites that season but was eliminated just before the final. Had she made it, could have likely won. Ruthie Alcade. Reached the end stages, was the top female but cut by format. Stands out even without more finals. Robin Hibbert, eliminated right before the final despite solid partnership with Mark Long. Tina Barta narrowly missed the finals on a female-heavy culling format, despite being a central competitor. Kendall Shepard went deep into the game before being medically removed. She wasn't medically removed on All-Stars 1, those All-Stars 2, but whatever. Had potential for a late push. Roni Martin, a strong contender until losing her teammate Darrell. They weren't teammates. Darrell was eliminated early in the season. That season was positioned well before a twist. Holly Shen, despite being cut late, still recognized as a strong and strategic performer. Katie Durrell, multiple deep runs without making finals, especially on All-Stars War. She was close despite physical disadvantages. Julie Stauffer, cut short before final, physical competitor who often scared vets. Gisela Delgado was one of the stronger female competitors on the team. That actually wasn't true. But format undercut her final chances. I guess that part's true. Beth Starlessist made it far as part of a weakened team, eliminated just before the final decision phase. To be fair, she quit, but she would have been eliminated that round anyways. I said, just do a similar tier list like you did earlier on. Absolutely. Here's the updated tier list, now including the near finalist standouts category at the bottom, while also correcting Rachel's win and All-Stars 4 result. This structure reflects performance only, based on wins, finals appearances, elimination records, and consistent deep runs, flagship plus All-Stars plus World Championship. Tier 1, elite performers, multiple wins or dominant runs. These women either won multiple seasons or had dominant multiple season performance arcs. Rachel Robinson, Susie Meister, Veronica Patillo. So Veronica, we saw her move up here. Jodie Weatherton, I think Jodie moved up, and Coral was bumped down a bit to 5th. Tier 2, strong champions or multi-time finalists. Had impressive peaks or consistently deep performances, even without dominant win counts. So Ronnie's at the top here. Holly's also at the top. They both always did well, though most of the seasons were early seasons. Julie Stauffer definitely moved up due to her last 2 seasons. Kara and Kina remain here because they did decent enough in the 3 seasons. Anissa moves up a lot due to all of her near misses. I think Robin might have moved up a bit due to her last season. Tina Barta moved down a bit, if I'm remembering correctly. Ruthie is around the same, and Emily is at the bottom of this. But technically, yeah, she always made it far. And she quit right before the end game on the final season. Tier 3, solid competitors with finals or notable records. Players who made a final or had an impactful presence with strong eliminations or consistent competitiveness. So we have Tanya at the top here, then Trishelle, then Kendall, then Ayana, then Gisela, then Beth, then Ibis, then Cynthia, then Montana. Yeah, it has Kendall and Trishelle in both. So that's... Oh, I see. Okay, I see the notes here. Tier 4, notable persistence but lower performance sets. Made an impact but lacked finals, wins, or positive elimination records. So we have Katie here for sure. Gisela, C Tier 3, had both a final and a near miss. Trishelle Canatella, also Tier 3, borderline between tiers. Kendall Shepard, also Tier 3, she's a mixed bag. So that's why I guess they're in both. So that's a supplemental tier. I shouldn't have had it as a separate category here. It doesn't add much since it's incorporated into the main tier list anyways. Let's make a few questions. Rachel won 3 seasons, The Gauntlet, The Duel 2, and Battle of the Eras. Susie won 2 seasons, The Gauntlet 2 and The Ruins. Jodie won 2 seasons, The Gauntlet 2 and The Duel. Tanya won the Inferno 3. Kendall won the Inferno. Ibis won The Gauntlet 2. Perfect, thank you. These questions significantly impact the top tier rankings, especially for Rachel, Susie, Jodie, Tanya, Kendall, and Ibis. Let's now revise the performance-based tier list to fully reflect accurate win counts, finals appearances, and elimination records. Here's the data with the top 3. I think Jodie moved up on this list, or on this tier. Susie, Roni, and Holly moved down. I think Susie moved... I don't know if she was always in tier 2 or she got moved out. It says also deserving tier 1 included above. Oh, so I guess they had her in borderline tier 1, tier 2. You have Tanya moved at the top, Kina 2, Ronnie and Holly moved down, Kara, Anissa, Robin, Tina. I think all of them are around here. I think Julie might have moved. Julie moved. I don't know if she moved up. I think she might have moved down, actually. And Emily's also this low due to her formats being weaker compared to a lot of the Era 1 women. Then you have Tier 3. Yeah, Evie's definitely moved up. Then Kendall, Ayana, Gisela, Beth, Giselle, Cynthia, Montana. Katie's for sure in Tier 4. Gisela, Giselle, and Montana also in between Tier 3 and Tier 4. Should I add a category for early boots? For early boot seasons? I have the data for that as well. Yes, adding an early boot category is a great idea. It adds important context to performance-based rankings by highlighting consistency or volatility. A competitor might have wins and finals, but also several early exits, which can affect their overall reliability and legacy. Why it is valuable. It balances the narrative, helps explain why a player with a strong win record might not rank higher overall. Highlights consistency. You can reward players who went far most of the time. Exposes volatility. Helps assess whether someone was more feast or famine or steady performer. Would you like to define early boot as eliminated before the halfway point? Eliminated within the first 2 to 3 episodes or did not qualify for final/early exit? I kind of didn't answer the question, but based off of my personal rankings, I always do the first 2 rounds in each season. That's how I define early boots. Why do I do it that way? I do it because certain seasons, especially certain team seasons, didn't have many eliminations. Some of them might have like 6 to 8 eliminations overall. So if I do the first 6 eliminations, technically the person who was eliminated 6 made it close to the final. But on other seasons, there's like 18 to 20 eliminations. So the first 6 boots means a lot more on those seasons, meaning you did poorly compared to on some of those early seasons, it meant you did well. So I always just do first 2 rounds very simple. Especially with the near misses, I do the final 2 rounds. So I just keep it very simple like that. That's how I define it. So what you see here is based on the women who are booted in the first 2 rounds, whether it's the first 2 rounds overall or the first 2 female rounds, because a lot of the eliminations are gendered. If there's a DQ that takes place in between then, the DQ counts, but it's mainly the first 2 official female boots, or eliminations. Great, thanks for the detailed data. Here's how we'll integrate the early boot category. Early boot seasons, notable early exits. These are seasons where the competitor was eliminated very early, typically in the first few episodes or before the mid-season point. I did it by the first few episodes, often without making a major impact. This helps identify volatility or inconsistency over their careers. You see the people, you see all the early boots based off of my criteria, and we're going to see the data. How to use this. When ranking competitors, especially borderline tier 1 to 2 or 2 to 3, use this as a consistency check. A player like Rachel still belongs in tier 1, but her early boot on the island shows a moment of vulnerability in an otherwise elite record. Someone like Robin or Beth with multiple early exits reinforces a tier 3 or 4 placement despite finals appearances. Anissa's early exit on Rivals might factor slightly when compared her consistency to other non-champ finalists. Would you like me to rescore or flag any players in the tier list based on early boot data, or just keep this category as a supplemental context for now? Yeah, I realized my issue with the supplemental context. I should have just incorporated it, so I think that's why I just said rescore or flag any players in the tier list based off this category, just like the near misses category. Great, here's a revised version of the performance-based tier list that now includes early boot flags the same way we previously included near misses. This update helps contextualize volatility and consistency across each women's challenge career. So we're going to scroll down. So now we're going to go into detail. Okay, Rachel Robinson. 1 early boot in the island, still Tier 1 due to win volume and finals. Susie Meister, no early boots. Flawless record keeps her safely in Tier 1. Jodie Weatherton, 1 early boot in Battle of the Eras. Low elimination record plus early boot makes her a weaker Tier 1. Veronica Portillo, she has 1 early boot. Her early boot and weak elimination record pushes her to Tier 1 fringe. Cora Smith, no early boots, very strong consistency and finals presence. Okay. Tier 2, strong champions or multi-finalists. Anissa Ferreira, 1 early boot in Rivals. Extensive near misses and finals keeps her in Tier 2. Early boot doesn't move her. Holly Shen, no early boots. Efficient and consistent. Tanya Cooley, 2 early boots in the Gauntlet and the Island. Multiple early exits drag down an otherwise solid record. Roni Martin, no early boots. Solid and consistent despite limited appearances. Holly Shen, same as the above, no early boot, great efficiency. Tina Barta, she has 1 early boot in the duel, where she DQ'd by punching Beth and being proud of it. 1 early boot but good elimination record keeps her in Tier 2. Ruthie Alcade, no early boots. Quietly consistent career. Robin Hibbard, 3 early boots in the Inferno 2, the Duel 2, and Rivals. Multiple early exits hurt her case. Tier 2 fringe or Tier 3. Emily Bailey, no early boots, quietly consistent career. Julie Stauffer, 1 early boot. 1 early boot plus a bad elimination record weakens her Tier 2 standing. Tier 3. Finalist or wins with moderate consistency. Some success but less reliable or more volatile. Keena Dean, no early boots. She was very, very lucky she was booted 3rd on her first season and not 2nd. Otherwise, it would have been an early boot. Efficient and clean, but lower volume keeps her here. Kendall Shepard, no early boots. Slightly underrated. Cara Zavaleta, no early boots. Solid but not high volume. Ibis Nieves, what? Hold on, I don't know if I incorporated that. Ibis was not on All Stars 3, where you listed her as on your early misses tier list. I don't know if I mentioned that at the bottom here, so I'm going to keep this here just in case I didn't, but that's incorrect. Ayana Mackins, 2 early boots. Early boot waste on limited success. Gisela Delgado, no early boots. Trishelle Canatella, 3 early boots in the Inferno, Rivals 2, and All-Stars 1. Unstable record hurts her Tier 3 case. Best Stolar Sisk, 3 early boots. Inconsistency keeps her lower. Tier 4. Limited results or volatile careers. More early exits than success or very limited accomplishments. Katie technically has 1 early boot, but mainly her poor elimination record and early boots drops her here. She has some seasons that barely missed the early boots, but yeah. Cynthia Roberts, 1 early boot in All-Stars 3. Not enough volume to rise higher. Montana McGlynn, 1 early boot. Quiet legacy with little competitive success. Okay. Most early boots. 3. Robin Hibbard, Trishelle Canatella, Beth Sarsis. 2 early boots, Tanya Cooley and Ayana Mackins. These women were more volatile and are harder to rank highly despite moments of success. Would you like a revised top 10 next? That balances wins, finals, eliminations. Okay, I think I just skipped. Yeah. Would skip nemesis and early boots into a more holistic ranking. Sure. I mentioned this. People like Susie, Holly, Tanya, Coral. I said Holly twice, I don't know why. Emily, Julie, Keena, Kara, Ibis, Gisela, Beth, Cynthia, and Montana played mainly in big team seasons, which are easier to get further on. How do you factor that into the rankings? That's an excellent point and a critical nuance for evaluating the challenge competitors fairly. The structure of the season, especially large team versus individual or small team formats, can heavily affect how impressive a player's placement, win, or consistency actually is. Let's break down how to factor team-based advantages into rankings. Then I'll show how this impacts the top 10. How big team seasons skew perception. Big teams mean lower risk per episode. Players may avoid elimination entirely if their team wins, often by doing little themselves. Weak performers can coast if stronger teammates carry the load. 2. Finals in big teams are shared. Some players win as part of a 6 to 10 team, which dilutes individual credit compared to smaller partnerships or solo wins. 3. Limited individual performance data. In early battle of the sexes or extreme challenge style formats, we rarely see one-on-one elimination results or who truly carry the team. Adjustment heuristics I apply. Devalue win/finals from a large team format slightly unless player was clearly central to team success. Reward players who performed well in individual/pairs or elimination-heavy seasons where success is harder to hide behind. Give extra credit for standout elimination records and longevity also on harder formats. Factor in context. A clean win in the Duel, the Inferno 3, or the Gauntlet 2 with eliminations on smaller teams is more impressive than coasting on the Extreme Challenge or a Battle of the Sexes. Applying this to the names you mentioned. So, Susie. Format adjustment. Still impressive, was clearly dominant on the wins. That's fair. Holly. Devalue wins slightly due to low elimination exposure. Tanya. Medium value. Win is real, but she wasn't the centerpiece. Coral. Large team format, but she was a standout voice and contributor. Emily B. Never tested in eliminations. Legacy suffers. Julie. Light credit. Her individual elimination record is poor in 0 to 2. Kina. More impressive. She led her team and went into eliminations. Kara Z. Smaller team, won key eliminations, win holds. Ibis. Weak elimination record, 0 to 1, less impact. Gisela. Small team performance meaningful. Beth. Carried, low impact. Cynthia. Near 0 challenge data, damn. Montana. Little visible impact. Updated top 10, fully contextualized, factoring in performance, wins, finals, eliminations, near misses, and early boots, and now season structure. Here, it's a holistic top 10 from Era 1 women. So, okay, interesting. So it switched a lot. I'm also going to write here, if she is listed as an early boot on the season, do not count it. She did. Rams gonna hold on and yeah, I'm gonna save this comment for the end. I'm not there yet. Anyways. So, Tier 1, Rachel Robinson, 3-time winner for finals, positive elimination record, multiple formats, small team wins. Susie Meister, 2-time winner, 3 finals, 4-0 elimination record, dominated wins. Coral Smith, 1-time win, 4 finals, undefeated in eliminations, standout in team formats. 4th is Jodie Weatherton, 2-time winner in the Gauntlet 2 and the Duel, 2 finals, weak elimination record but strong wins in harder formats. At 5th, Anissa Ferreira, so she moved up a lot. I think she moved up like 10 placements, so that's why you need to add a lot of the nuances. Let's see what it says for Anissa. 4 finals, 6 near misses, 30 eliminations. Her volume plus endurance outweighs early boot. So now we're moving on to Tier 2. Holly Shan, 2-time winner, 1-0 elimination record, low volume, but perfect success. Knocked slightly for big team wins. Tina Barta, 5-4 elimination record, 2 finals, near miss, very active. Kina Dean, 1-time win, Gauntlet 2, 2-1 elimination record, clear leader of her team. Ronnie Martin, 1-time win, 2 finals, near miss, clean career with no early exits. Ruthie Alcade, 2 finals, strong social/political presence, clean record. So I said, what is the updated list with all the data mentioned, which includes all the women I mentioned for this era? So that's what they're looking at. Wins, finals appearances, elimination records, near misses, early boots, season structure. I think I read the top 10, so I'm going to just skip that. Yeah, I'm going to go to Tier 3 and Tier 4. So Tier 3, mid-level competitors with notable achievements. Some have wins but weak eliminations/volumes. Others have solid resumes but missing key elements. At 11th is Tanya Cooley, one-time champ, the Inferno 3, 2 finals, 3-3 elimination record, 2 early boots, the Gauntlet, and the Island. Win quality is moderate. At 12th is Emily Bailey, 3 finals, that's not correct. Extreme Challenge, Battle of the Seasons, Battle of the Sexes, 2. No elims, big team formats, consistent but not battle tested. I'm going to have to mention that too, just in case I didn't earlier. Emily made it to 2 finals in Extreme Challenge and Battle of the Seasons. She did not make it to the final on Battle of the Sexes. She wasn't even on Battle of the Sexes, too. Okay. I'm going to see if that's corrected later on before I click it. Veronica Portillo, because I want you to see the rest of the conversation. 3-time champ, Champs 2000, the Gauntlet, the Inferno, 5 finals, 2-4 elimination record, several early exits, protected heavily earlier on in her career. 14th, Katie L'Oreal. So Katie moved up a decent amount compared to where she was. 1 final, the Inferno. It doesn't say 1 win. Katie won the Inferno. 4 tonight elimination record, 3 near misses, the Gauntlet 3, All-Stars 1, All-Stars Rivals, 3 early boots, but elimination, volume, and legacy are substantial. At 15th is Cara Zavaleta, one-time champ, the Gauntlet 1, 2 finals, 2-1 elimination record, mid-level volume, decent performance across eras. At 16th is Julie Stauffer, one-time champ, the Extreme Challenge, 0-2, elimination, near final miss on the Inferno 2, 1 early boot, on Battle of the Seasons. Mixed results with early impact. Julie made it to the finals on the Gauntlet 2. I don't know if that was ever corrected. At 17th is Robin. 3 finals, 1-6, elimination record, exclamation point, 1 near miss, Battle of the Exes, multiple early boots, high visibility but poor competitive record. At 18th is Trishelle Canatella. 1 final, Battle of the Seasons 2012, 2-3 elimination, 3 early boots, Inferno, Rivals 2, All-Stars 1, mixed but durable. Okay. Limited wins or visibility, often padded by big team formats or early boots. Evie Nevis, one-time champ, Gauntlet 2, a 0-1 elimination record, no finals outside for a win, 1 near miss, small sample size, 1 near miss? Also 1 near miss. I don't think she had a 1 near miss. I don't think Evis had a 1 near miss season. Gisela Delgado's at 20s. 1 final, All-Stars 1, 1-1 elim, 1 near miss, Battle of the Seasons. Later era resurgence, boost legacy slightly. 21st, Kendall Darnell. 1-time champ, the Inferno. 3-2 elimination record, 1 near miss, All-Stars 1, up and down record with early peaks. At 22nd is Beth Dorisic. 1 final, Road Rules vs. Real World. 3-5, 1 elimination record, 1 near miss, 3 early boots, polarizing but persistent. At 23rd is Anna Mackins. 1 final, All-Stars 2, 2-1 elimination record, 2 early boots, Extreme Challenge, and All-Stars 4, mostly known for her recent return. At 24th is Cynthia Roberts. 1-time champ, Road Rules All-Stars, 0-1 elimination record, early format, 1 early boots, All-Stars 3, tiny sample. At 25th is Montana McGlynn. 1 final, Road Rules vs. Real World, 0-2 elimination record, early format early, low visibility, and early boot on the Gauntlet. So what would a scoring system look like for this data? Since I did that for the Era 1 men. To get rid of this data into a scoring system that fairly reflects the challenge performance, especially for our Era 1 women with 3 seasons, we can create a weighted point structure based on the key performance categories. Each element is scored with consideration for difficulty, impact, and volume, while penalties help offset padded resumes. So here's the scoring system for challenge female competitors, Era 1 with 3+ seasons. Championship wins. So small team wins have 6 points, big team wins with more than 5 people, 4 points. Finals appearances, each final appearance not including wins, 3 points. Elimination wins, each elimination win is 1 point. elimination losses. Each elimination loss is a negative 0.5. Near miss seasons reach the last 2 to 3 episodes before the final, plus 1.5. I always do it the last 2 rounds, but I incorporated the data that I did. Early boots eliminated with the first 3 episodes. I always do the first 2 rounds per gender, but it might have been the third episodes, negative 1 point each. Unbeaten elimination records. Bonus for retiring undefeated, minimum 3 wins, plus 2 points. Finals conversion rate, 50+% win rate in finals, minimum 2 finals, plus 2 points. High elimination volume bonus, 10 plus elimination appearances with at least 50% win rate, plus 2 points. Team format penalty, majority of wins/finals on big team seasons, only -1 to -2 points. So, an example is Rachel. 3 wins, 2 individual small team, 1 big team, so 6 plus 6 plus 4 equals 16 points. 1 additional final, 4 points, 4 total, plus 3 points. Elimination record, equal 4 minus 3, 4 minus 1.5 equals 2.5 points. 1 early boot to the island, -1 point. Final conversion, 3 wins in 4, plus 2 points. No big team penalty, mixed format. Her total score is 22.5. I'm not going to read it for all of them. I'm just interested here just to see the examples, just so you can get the data and how it's incorporated. Key considerations. Big team win penalty balances ease of survival with reduced agency. Elimination record separates strong competitors from floater types. Bonuses reward dominance, undefeated in eliminations, high win percentage, etc. Can create tiers based on scoring wagers. Example, 20 plus, tier 1. Would you like me to apply this exact format to every Era 1 woman in your list and give full scores? Apply it to every woman. Here's the scoring base ranking of Era 1 challenge woman with at least 3 seasons, incorporating wins, finals, eliminations, near misses, early boots, and team format context. Interesting. So top tier, elite performers with at least 20 points. So at the very top is Anissa Ferreira with 29.5 points. So she has longevity plus huge elimination volume plus finals consistency with 4 finals and 6 near misses. So that's why she's at the top. So yeah, she definitely benefits from consistently doing the show. At second is Susie at 26 points. She has 2 wins, she's undefeated in eliminations, and she has a strong finals conversion. At third is Rachel with 22.5 points. She has 3 wins, strong finals rate, and good elimination showing. So the high tier. Sorry, I just got a bunch of phlegm. Which I saw performers with 15 to 19 points. At fourth is Veronica with 18 points. 3 wins, though they're team heavy, 5 finals, weak elimination record, but high legacy. At fifth is Cole with 17 points. She has 4 finals, 1 win, and undefeated in eliminations. At mid-tier, above average, with 10 to 14 points, at 6 is Jodie with 12.5 points. 2 wins, near miss, weak elimination record hurt her. At 7th is Cara Z with 12.5 points, so technically tied with Jodie, but I'm assuming she's less because she's 7th instead of 6th because she has less seasons. 1 win, 2 finals, solid elimination record, and conversion bonus. At 8th is Roni with 11 points. 1 win, 1 near miss, balanced performance. At 9th is Holly with 10.5 points. 2 big team wins, strong conversion rate. Competent tier is at 7 to 10 points. At 10th is Tina with 9.5 points. At 11th is Kendall with also 9.5 points. I'm assuming Kendall's lower because she has less seasons than Tina. At 12th is Kina with 8.5 points. At 13th is Ruthie with 7.5 points. At 14th is Tanya with 7 points. At 15th is Emily B, who also has 7 points. I'm assuming she's lower due to the formats of her seasons being weaker and her having limited seasons. So, it says here, some team season advantage here for Emily. In the middle to low tier, at 4 to 6.5 points, is Abis with 6 points. 17th is Robin with 5.5 points. At 18th is Gisela with 5 points. At 19th is Julie with 4.5 points. At 20th is Katie with 4 points. Lower tier, below 4 points. At 21st is Cynthia with 3.5 points. At 22nd is Montana at 3 points. I'm shocked she's not last because she's been last in every other iteration of this ranking so far. At 23rd is Ayana with 2.5 points. At 24th is Beth with 1 point. And at 25th is Trishelle with 0.5 points. So I'm assuming names like Beth and Trishelle are here. Heck, even Ayana, because if you do more seasons and you perform poorly in most of them, you're going to get more negative points. Okay, that's where I ended it. Okay, so I have to add all the stuff that I noticed in the last few parts that I didn't adjust earlier. So I'm going to read again. E-Beast was not an All-Star City where you listed her as on your early Mrs. Boot. If she's listed as an early boot on that season, do not count it. She did The Ruins, The Gauntlet 2, and Battle of the Sexes 2, but she was not an early boot on any of them. Emily made it to 2 finals in Extreme Challenge and Battle of the Seasons. I'll do 2002. She did not make it to the final on Battle of the Sexes. She wasn't even on Battle of the Sexes 2. Katie won the Inferno. Julie made it to the finals on the Gauntlet 2. I don't think EBS has a 1 near miss season. Let's see what they say. Because analyzing. This is going to take a while. Let's wait a while. Let's wait a while. Oh gosh. Because I did most of this conversation yesterday or the day before. But when you record it and you didn't really finish the conversation, sometimes this happens. Alrighty. Here is the updated scoring based ranking for the Era 1 women of the challenge based on all that data. I'm not rereading it. Okay, so some of the results switched again. So Veronica's at the top at 26, Rachel's second with 25, Anissa's now third at 21, Susie's at fourth with 17, Holly's at fifth with 15, Cole's sixth with 15. So the 15 plus our top tier. At the high tier, 10 to 14.9 points. Jody at 7th with 14.5, 8th with Kara at 10, 9th at Kendall with 10, 10 with Tanya at 10. So she moved up, I think. Okay. Mid tier, 5 to 9.9 points. At 11th is Katie with 8.5. At 12th is Kina with 8. At 13th is Roni with 7. At 14th is Ibis with 6. At 15th is Cynthia with 5.5. At lower tier, which is 1 to 4.9 points. At 16th is Ruthie with 4.5. At 13th is 17th with 3.5. At 18th is Emily with 3.5. At 19th is Robin with 3.5. At 20th is Giselle with 3. At 21st, Julie's also with 3. At 22nd, Ayana's at 2.0. At 23rd, it's Beth with 1.5. At 24th, it's Trishelle with 1. At bottom tier, 0 or below, is Montana. Alright, so with my last corrections, can you put that data into all of the corrections we have done in this conversation into a final written tier list? Absolutely. Based on all the corrected data you've provided, including wins, finals, elimination records, near misses, early views, and adjustments for large team seasons, here is the final written performance-based tier list for the Challenge Era 1 women, those who appeared in at least 3 seasons across the Flagship, All-Stars, or World Championship. These women have multiple wins, strong elimination records, multiple finals, and few to no weak seasons. Their dominance holds across all different formats. So I'm just going to read the name and the note at the bottom. Rachel Robinson. So she's amongst the most balanced and dominant all-around performers. So Rachel's first, then Susie Meister. Flawless elimination record and great win quality. At third is Veronica Portillo. Most finals of the era, slightly offset by poor elimination record. Now we're moving on to the next tier. High tier. Strong performers. These women had at least one win, multiple finals or near misses, and solid performance across formats. I think this is fifth. It just gave me a number, so I'm just going to read it. So at Holly Shen, it mentions undefeated in eliminations with early season dominance. Then Cora Smith, reliable finalist, avoided elimination, strong politically. Then Jodie Weatherton, high ceiling but elimination record hurts slightly. Upper middle tier, notable achievements. Won a season where made multiple deep runs but with limited longevity, poor elimination record, or over reliance on big teams. Kendall Darnell, solid all-round performer with comeback relevance. Then Tanya Cooley, surprising success story, strong in her winning season. Then Cara Zavaleta, quietly efficient with solid sets. Then Katie Doyle, inconsistent but resilient competitor. Mid-tier, solid contributors, final appearances or elimination strength, but offset by inconsistency or fewer standout results. Keena Dean, limited resume but a strong solo season. Roni Martin, efficient performer though not in many seasons. Ivis Nieves, not a strong individual competitor despite win. Cynthia Roberts, limited scope, win was in a short format season. Low mid-tier, occasional performance, flashes of success but often inconsistent or overshadowed by stronger players. Ruthie Alcade, big threat early on, faded later. Tina Barta, strong in eliminations but never capitalized fully. Robert Hibbert, frequent finalist but weak in eliminations. Emily Bailey, early era standout with few eliminations but less talented. Most early exits, poor elimination records, or minimal success across seasons. Gisela Delgado, good All-Stars comeback, limited flagship history. Julie Stoffer, unrealized potential, never quite broke through. Ayanna Meckens, memorable but inconsistent presence. Beth Starsisk, longevity without strong results. Trisha Canatana, did well in Battle of the Seasons 2012, but otherwise underperformed. At Montana McGlynn is at last never made a strong individual mark. I think I'm missing someone, or a few people. I have to count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. I think there's 26 people. Hold on. Hold on. Okay, so there's 25 people. Okay. You missed Anissa. Where would she place on this list? Thanks, you're right to flag that. Let's now accurately place Anissa Ferreira on this Era 1 women's tier list using the same criteria. Wins, finals, elimination record, near misses, early boots, longevity, and team format adjustments. Okay, I guess we'll read Anissa's stats now. If anyone deserves it, it's her, I guess, from this group. Flagship seasons, era, 1 to 20 plus, later All-Stars. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'm going to correct the seasons she did. She did so many. I have to go on my phone and do the correction because it clearly got some stuff wrong. This is really annoying. Okay. Because she has so many seasons, I don't know why. Okay. I'm going to have to literally look it up on my phone because I don't want to switch the screen. Okay. Some of the sissing she did. Battle of the Sexes, Battle of the Sexes 2, Gauntlet 2, Duel, Inferno 3, Duel 2, Rivals, Battle of the Axes, Rivals 2, Free Agents, Bloodlines, Dirty 30, Total Menace, Double Agent Spy. Ugh, my caps. Total Menace, Double Agent Spies, Lies, and Ally, Ride or Dice. Battle of the Eras, All-Stars 1, and All-Star Roy. That data should be included in the seasons part. All of the other stats are accurate. Okay. Yeah, so, hold on. In the flagship seasons, eras 1 to 20 plus all plus later all-stars part. Okay, so finals. All-Stars 1, All-Stars 2, All-Stars 3, Battle of the... Okay, she did not make it to the finals on All-Stars 2, was not even on that season. She made it to the finals on Ride... What? On All-Stars 2 or Battle of the Eras. Or Battle of the Eras. She was a finalist on Gauntlet 2, Duel 2, Ride or Dice, and All-Stars 1. I think the elimination... like, why? Like, I gave you all the data earlier, you're just screwing it up. Her elimination record is 15 to 15. I gave her near above a long time ago. She was not an early boot. Okay. Let's see what they state. Despite never winning, Anissa has reached 4 finals across flagship and All-Stars format, and that's one of the most prolific elimination resumes in franchise history. However, she never won in a season, despite 17 plus appearances. She has a middling elimination record, 13 to 13, durable but not dominant. She had several near misses, showing strong longevity and adaptability. She has a higher percentage of solo or small team seasons than some of her Era 1 peers. Final tier placement. Middle tier. Solid contributors, just below upper mid. She slots just below players like Katie, Tanya, and Kara, who have at least one win and solid final/elimination balance, but above players like Robin, Emily, or Beth, who lacks her consistency and longevity. So with this, it's stating mid-tier solid contributors updated. That's where it would place her. Let's see what it says now. This is what it says. Okay, I think that's correct. Okay, elimination record 50 to 50. One of the most prolific elimination totals in challenge history. 30 total appearances. Eliminated late in game or closely edged out on finals. Not free agents, that's correct. Adjusted for big team season. All large team formats reduces the difficulty for team to keep fire though, and he was often a key player. Tier placement for Era 1 Woman, how she compares strength, consistency, and durability across 19 seasons. 4 finals, more than anyone in Era 1 besides Veronica and Rachel. Massive elimination sample with a half record. Limitations, never won a season, a few deep runs, aided by big team formats. Lost several opportunities mid to late stages, many near misses. Final tier placement, middle tier solid computers, upper mid of that tier. Any Solanges below top tier due to lack of win. She stands about most of the time due to longevity, number of finals, and elimination longevity. Okay, that looks fine. Okay. Why is Kendall so high? Julie has a weak win. Cynthia's win is the weakest in challenge history. Great point, and you're absolutely right to challenge the placements based on win quality. Let's re-examine those 3 placements. Kendall, Julie, and Cynthia using the full context you built. Win quality, seasons, blah, 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 blah. Kendall Shepard. Win. Original tier, high tier. Stats. Win. The Inferno. Season 8. Small female cast. 5 women. No elimination appearances. She did win. It says here, her elimination record to choose. That part's incorrect. Finals. The Inferno All-Stars 1. She was booted right before the final on All-Stars 1. It says it here, so why is it... So why does it say she is a finalist and a near miss for that season? Inferno was a mid-sized team season. She won without facing elimination and had solid all-stars showing. She did go into an elimination on the Inferno. It's in the elimination record. That's another thing about ChatGPT. You correct it on one thing and it completely ignores it. Her flagship win came in a smaller team format where she wasn't tested. She was. All-Stars 1 final was strong, but relatively easier final. She wasn't even in the final. Her presence is limited to 2 seasons. She's solid, but not dominant. Adjusted here. Upper middle tier downgraded slightly due to quality win and lack of dominant 1. Julie Stoffer. Original tier, high tier, wins the Gauntlet 2. Julie did not win the Gauntlet 2. Not win Gauntlet 2. But she did make it to the final. Her win was Extreme Challenge, which was weak. Win came in easy team season, 14-woman team, barely had to compete, never won an elimination. That is true. Lack consistent deep runs. Adjusted tier, middle tier. Downgraded win due to very weak elimination track of win. How was she the first boot and a finalist on Battle of the Sexes? The second final other than Gauntlet 2 is Extreme Challenge. Okay. Cynthia Roberts. Win the Inferno. She did not win the Inferno. Cynthia did not win the Inferno. Was not even on that scene. But Road Rule All Stars. Finals. Technically, Nana was not in the final elimination. Elimination 0, near misses, and All Stars 3. Weakest win in challenge. She did not run the final. She won. No other stand-up performance. Living limited. Adjusted lower tier. Correctly flagged. This is extremely weak win. Summary. Kendall, upper mid tier, win was off, but she had solid longevity free finals. Julie, middle tier, weak elimination records. Since they didn't run a final, let's see. Your input and crucial because not all wins are equal. You have now a better aligned tier list that reflects soft wins from large team formats, actual impact and agency in game, elimination record, and consistency. Now with these corrections, let's see what happens. Thank you for the detailed corrections. The level of precision is crucial for accurate ranking. With a clarification now integral into a model, I can deliver a more refined and factually sound tier list. Would you like the final version of the tier list restructured now with all the data fully accounted for? Yes. I need to charge my computer. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Let's see. I don't feel like reading all of this. 1 is Rachel Robinson, dominant in both physical and political, win in both team and individual. Susie, perfect elimination record, highly strategic. Jodie Weatherton, strong in individual and pair seasons, less so in elimination formats. So that's the top tier. High tier strong performers, Coral Smith's at 4th, political and social powerhouse, great consistency pre-eliminations era. Okay, Veronica Portillo's at 5th, excellent political and team eras, longevity. Sorry, I'm plugging it in. Okay. At 6 is Roni Martin with 2, understated dominance, great ratio of seasons to wins. At 7th is Anissa Ferreira. Okay, I think this is all correct now. Strengths. Longevity, consistent late game appearances. Mid-tier notable achievements. 8th, Holly Shan, quietly efficient, both wins and team formats. 9th, Tony Cooley, strong growth arc despite early chaotic seasons. 10th, Kendall Shepard, well-rounded performance in key numerous. 11th, Lucy Alcade, consistent contender but rarely converted to wins. 12th, Tina Barta, strong in eliminations, known for intensity. 13th, Robin Hibbert, frequently deep runs but poor elimination record. Low mid-tier, 1 high mark, otherwise uneven. 14th, Emily Bailey, team air setup, but faded, fast post that. At 15th, Judy Suffer, flashes of strength but not consistent. 16th, Carissa Valetta, underrated, efficient in short run. At 17th, Ibis Nieves, performed well in team format. Katie Doyle, big character and consistent performances. Bottom tier, weak records or limited impact. Giselle Delgado, brief all-stars resurgence. Trishelle Canatella, more known for drama than competition, that's accurate. 21st is Anna Meckins. Strength, strong return at All-Stars 2 but short return overall. At 22nd, Beth Star Assist. Long tenured but weak performance. At 23rd, Cynthia Roberts. Weak win came on the least competitive format. Montana Glenn is at last. Limited impact, brief tenure. Convert this into a final point system ranking. After this, then it should be done, hopefully. Here's the final point system. We've been through this, I'm not going to read all of it. You see the data. Okay. So at first is Rachel with 66 points, then Susie at second with 60, then Jodie at third with 50, then fourth with Veronica at 49th, then Coral's at fifth with 42, then Roni is at sixth with 41, Anissa's at seventh with 40, at eighth is Holly with 39, at ninth is Tanya with 36, then 10th at Ruthie's 10th with 26, Kendall's technically tied with Ruthie when it comes to the score, but she has less season, so I think that's why she's lower at 11th. Tina's at 12th with 25. Robin's at 13th with 23. At 14th is Emily with 20. Elimination data missing. She didn't do any eliminations because they didn't exist. At 15th is Judy with 19th. At 16th is Kara Z at 19th. At 17th is Ibis with 18th. At 18th is Katie with 17 points. At 19th is Gisela with 14 points. At 20th is Beth with 12 points. At 21st is Trishelle with 11 points. At 12th is Ayana with 11 points. At 23rd is Cynthia with 11 points. At 24th is Montana with 8 points. Okay. You can do it in tiers, but the list seems pretty done. Okay, here's just what's going to show up. So S tier, Rachel, 3 wins, strong all-around game, elimination rankings, longevity across eras. Susie, 2 wins, flawless elimination record, top tier performance in high-stakes seasons. Jody, 2 wins, including an individual one, strong presence across eras. Then we have the A tier, strong legacy. Sorry, S tier is elite legacy plus multiple wins, then versatile game strength. A tier, strong legacy with wins and final consistency. Veronica, 3 wins, mostly team-based, consistent finals performance, good near-miss value. Coral, 1 win, high finals ratio, great social political game, no losses and eliminations. Ronnie, 2 wins, near flawless record, but limited era span. Anissa, 4 finals, 6 near misses, 30 elimination appearances, 15-15, deep impact despite no win. Holly, 2 wins, limited appearances, but strong in them. B tier, win plus finals presence with mixed results or structural caveats. Tanya, 1 win, 2 finals, fair elimination showing, complex social gameplay arc. Ruthie, 2 finals, 1 near miss, strong physical showing hindered by format. Kendall, 1 win, strong elimination record, 1 near miss, good all-star showing. Tina, 1 final, 1 near. Tina's been to 2 finals. Tina has been to 2 finals, Fresh, me, and the Inferno 2, but I doubt it changes much. Strong in eliminations, iconic social / political presence. Robin, 3 finals, 1 near miss, poor elimination record, but notable finals consistency. Okay, so with the C tier people, so these are finals or winners with weaker seasons or limited impact. So we have Emily B, 2 finals in early team seasons, needs full elimination data, which doesn't exist because none of her seasons had those. Julie, 1 week win, 2 finals, 1 near miss, inconsistent social elimination game. Kara Z, 1 win, 2 finals, decent elimination showing, limited screen presence. EBs with 1 win, 1 final, lower elimination experience, but strong team showings. Katie with 1 win, 1 final, 3 near misses, high number of elimination losses. She has a 4-9 elimination loss. Then we have the D tier people, so lower wins and finals, but some strategic or narrative impact. Gisela with 1 final, 1 near miss, minimal appearances, but notable return. Beth, 1 final, 1 near miss, early era impact, but poor elimination / game consistency. Trishelle, 1 final, decent eliminations, but plagued by early boots. Ayana, 1 final, strong all-stars return, but early boots lower ranking. Cynthia, 1 win, a very weak format, limited long-term impact. F tier, minimal game impact plus weak records. Montana, 1 final in a large team season, poor elimination record, no deep run afterwards. She's pretty much been on the bottom the entire time. Anyways, so Tina has been to 2 finals, Fresh Meat and the Inferno 2, but I doubt it changes much. Can you... Hold on. Afterwards, can you make this tier system on a point system? Sorry, I should do tier list on a based on a tier list into a point system. Thanks for the Tina correction, you're absolutely right. She reached the finals on the Inferno 2 and Fresh Meat, giving her 2 final appearances rather than 1. This boosts her value slightly, though not enough to shift her out of B tier given her limited wins and middling elimination involvement. Now here's the final point system based on all fully corrected data for the Era 1 women. So that's the data that we're going by. Can read it there, give you like 10 seconds to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so here are the top tier scores, points calculated by competitor. Rachel's at the top with 22.5, then Susie with a score of 15. Hold on. If Susie has a score of 15 and Jody has a score of 17.5, Shouldn't the latter be higher if that is accurate? Anyways, we're going to continue on. Anissa with a score of... What? 13. Veronica with a score... Hold on, this is confusing. Why are some people who have higher score than others are lower on the list? Veronica has 22, but she's lower than Anissa. I don't know where that comes from. Strong mid-tier scores: Ronnie with 17, Coral with 14, Ruthie with 6, Tina with 5.5, Robin with 1.5. Low mid-tier scores: Tanya has a score of 4, Ken has a score of 8.5, Julie has a score of 6, Kara Z has a score of 7, Emily B has a score of 4, Katie with 6.5. Low tier scores: Beth negative 1.5, Giselle 3, Trishelle negative 1.5, Anna 1, Cynthia 3.5, Montana 0, Evie's 4.5. Wouldn't it make sense for the highest scores to be the highest on the list? Oh, I guess they did correct it. Never mind. Okay, yeah, they did correct it. So, Rachel's at 22.5, Veronica's at 22. I didn't read down enough to see if they did it. Jody's at 17.5, Ronnie's at 17, Susie's at 15, Carl's at 14, Anissa's at 13, Kendall's at 8.5, Karazi's at 7, Julie's at 6, Katie's at 6.5. Shouldn't she be higher then? Tina's at 5.5, Ruthie's at 6, Emily B's at 4, Tanya's at 4, Evie's at 4.5, Cynthia at 3.5, Giselle's at 3, Ayana's at 1, Robin's at 1.5, Montana. This is so weird. Yes, you're absolutely right. In a point-based system, the whole purpose is objectively ranked through score total. So if someone has more points, they should absolutely be ranked higher. Unless the system intentionally incorporates non-quantitative factors, like intangibles and legitimacy, which we do not here. Let me explain what the confusion is. What happened? In the tiered version earlier, some placements still reflect legacy bias or qualitative judgments, like perceived difficulty of a win or season reputation. But once you ask for a final point system, that should have been dropped. The list should rank strictly by score totals. Okay, so they did fix it. Okay, here it is. Rachel's at the top with 22.5, then Veronica at 22, then Jody at 17.5, then Ronnie, then Susie, then Coral. Ronnie having 17, Susie having 15, Coral having 14, then Anissa at 13, Kendall at 8.5, Katie at 6.5, Kara Z at 7, Ruthie at 6, Julie at 6, so they're tied. I'm wondering if Julie is lower because she has less longevity than Ruthie, though I think they have the same amount of seasons. Tina's at 5.5, Evie's is at 4.5, Emily's at 4, Tanya's at 4, Cynthia's at 3.5, Giselle's at 3, Robin's at 1.5, Ayana's at 1, Montana's at 0, Beth's at negative 1.5, and Trishelle's at negative 1.5. So yeah, that's pretty much it for the Era 1 woman who has done 3 seasons. With the way they distributed some of these scores and these tier rankings, it's very interesting and it's always done differently. I'm working on the Era 2 man and the Era 2 woman, so look out for that. Thank you for watching. I'll be